Alright guys, so here is question number 3. Question number 3 is why Istanbul? The practical, very boring answer to this question is if you're thinking about moving abroad, then you need to think about where you want to go and what you want to do. For me, my objectives were to get away and gain some space, to kind of think about what I wanted to do. I wasn't really in a situation where I have to go immediately into working. And the reason I wasn't is because I chose based on the currency. That's something you really need to take into consideration, is that where you're going. Obviously for me, I didn't want to go somewhere where the local currency was stronger than the dollar. So for Turkey, they're not on the euro, they're still on the lira, and it worked out better for me that way. When I came and I visited, it was trading the lira to dollar was about 2 to 1. Been here now this time, it's about almost 2.7, 2.8 to 1. So I picked a place that would be really economical for me wanting to do something like this, and I could live comfortably without feeling, you know, the stress or strain of like, oh, I have to get a job and I have to do something right away. So that's like the more practical reason I chose Istanbul instead of like some other places. You know, of course people were like, well, why Istanbul? Why don't you go to like Barcelona, or why don't you go to Paris, or why don't you go somewhere else in the world? Or for me, it made more sense. I was like, why would I go somewhere and stress myself out having to earn more money to pay American bills, bills and that are calculated in dollars? It doesn't make sense to me to do something like that. I wouldn't put that kind of strain on myself. So it made more sense to me, practically speaking, to come here and do it this way. So my cost of living would be cheaper, my dollar would go farther, I wouldn't have to really be stressed out about any of that. If I wanted to teach English, or if I wanted to do something like along those lines, but I didn't really give much thought into what I wanted to do. I figured when I get here, that's what I would do. So that's what I have been doing for the last 6 months, is trying to figure out what the hell I want to do, which is pretty hard, but that's a whole nother video subject. The other reason that I chose Istanbul is because it's so inspiring. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. I mean, here's just a flavor of what it looks like. Okay, so the other reason that I picked Istanbul was the climate. I know that might seem like a little bizarre, but for me it was a big deal because I was coming from Las Vegas. In Vegas it's hot as shit and you feel like your skin's gonna melt off of you during the summer times, or at least for half of the year. And I wanted a place that had like moderate temperatures, that had, you know, something that I could have like an outdoor lifestyle. I could do things that I like to do, like go hiking and walk and go run and do things outside, which I could not do in Las Vegas. So for me, climate was a big deal. Istanbul has all 4 seasons. It's very pretty, lots of flowers, trees, and not the typical desert landscape that I was coming from. It was near the water. It just seemed like the perfect location. The other reason too is that it's just the vibe that you get from the city. It's kind of a perfect juxtaposition of 2 worlds. It's the West meets East, it's the old meets new, it's big city and small village. I mean, everything comes together under one place. It's a very intriguing place. There's religious people that are covered that you would normally think of as the Middle East. There are people that aren't covered, the women that aren't covered here. It's just a big mix and very eclectic. So I like that vibe from the city, and the inner nerd in me really loves the history of seeing all of these majestic places that have been standing longer than, I don't know, any of us for sure, and anything older in the United States.